G'day folks, Wren here, and it's time for another Five Friday. So for this Five Friday, we're gonna do some short books because it's getting to the end of the year and we're all trying to like hit that goal. We're trying to read as many books as we can to feel super accomplished for the end of the year. So for this video, I'm going to go through 5 books that are under 300 pages. Should be nice and quick and simple to read. They're all really good times and I highly recommend all of them. So starting off at 208 pages is the Echo Park Castaways by M.G. Hennessy. This is very nice and short. It's very wholesome. This is a YA middle grade, not really sure what to call it, but it's a contemporary and it's about these 3 or 4 kids and they're all kind of taken in by the same person at this like foster house. They're all on like these like secret missions in a way. One of the kids, he's autistic and he wants to find his mother. So the other kids are like, sure, let's go help you find your mum, and they just, a bunch of kids just strolling through the city, and it's really heartwarming because all of these kids are very protective of themselves and their story and also each other. They've all faced some hardships and by the end of it they kind of all come to accept those hardships and they can like move forward with their lives and kind of learn to trust people again and open themselves up again. It's really beautiful, so sweet, and had some really funny moments too. And I adore M.G. Hennessy and I really wish they would write some more books. I've already read the 2 that they've written and I want more. Then coming in at 224 pages is The Mysterious Disappearance of Aiden S. as told to his brother by David Levithan. This is one of the most interesting books I've ever read and I really want to reread it because it was fascinating. Again, middle grade YA in that kind of grey area. So Aiden actually went to a portal world, but his little brother got left behind. And we're not following Aiden in this story, we're following his brother and what it really means to the rest of the world when someone goes through one of these portals. The little brother is like, I know something happened to Aiden. I know he didn't run away or that he was kidnapped or any of these things, because the little brother kind of saw Aiden go through the portal, but you know, he can't really like make sense of it. And so there are a lot of police and reporters around trying to find Aiden. But the brother's like, did I see what I saw? Like, trying to figure out what is happening. And just this like media circus. And then when Aiden returns and he doesn't tell anyone what happened, the media kind of turns on him. It's like, oh, he was just a runaway and, you know, a misfit kid and all these kind of things. And just the love that these brothers have for each other was beautiful. And I really loved just, you know, seeing that other side of the story. We always get the portal fantasy stories and they're always amazing. But then, you know, you tend not to think about what's happening in the real world and what the repercussions are for just disappearing. So I thought this was fantastic and I really love David Levithan's works. He's a queer author, writes lots of queer stories. This is a queer story, but it's like subtle queer rep, but I did still thoroughly enjoy this and it was such a great time. Then at 218 pages is The Remaking of Corbin Whale by Roan Parrish. This is without a doubt one of my favourite books of all time. It has become a comfort read for me. It's about this guy that moves back to his hometown to kind of take over the business that his parents started because his father passed away and his mother is kind of struggling to keep up with the work. So he comes home, he takes over the bakery, rebrands it as his own thing because he is a baker. While working at the bakery, he meets this man who just intrigues him so much because Corbin is autistic. The word autism is not used, but very heavily implied. Like, you can't get around the fact that Corbin is autistic. The way Alex, who's the baker, the way he's already so captivated by Corbin and his brain and the way Corbin sees the world and interacts with the world. Alex is just so enamored by all of that. And I really enjoyed that kind of just blanket acceptance of all the things that make Corbin who he is. And just the amount of love that Alex has for Corbin, like off the bat, just, it was very healing. As an autistic person myself, I was like, okay, there's hope. It was just such a sweet story, and we get to kind of interact with the world in the way that Corbin does, because the way that he describes memories and all of these dogs that he has, he's like, well, I don't own them, you know, they're just, we're all a part of each other. I love the way Corbin talks about the world, and I love the way Alex talks about Corbin. It's phenomenally beautiful, and it's a good like foodie romance, because Corbin thinks that he has a curse on him, so he tries to bake the curse out of him because of some things that Alex has said about the process of baking. So, you realize you're knocking over a lot of books, right? Yeah. All of my books you are knocking over. They were in piles. But it is such a beautiful story, and I highly recommend the audiobook. Whenever I have a migraine, I turn on this audiobook and I just close my eyes and I am just immersed in this beautiful world that like helps me when I'm feeling like crap. It's really, really beautiful queer story, and I love it. Alright, coming in at 252 pages is Cursed Cocktails by S.L. Rowland. I'm not gonna lie, this is basically the gay man version of Legends and Lattes. But I prefer this one so much. This is low stakes, soft, cozy fantasy about this warrior that needs to settle down because his body has started kind of failing him, because, you know, he's been a soldier his whole life. His joints don't like that very much anymore. He settles in this town, which the weather helps his joints, and while he's there, he meets this elf bartender, and they get along really, really well. It is a romance between them, but that's very much in the background. It's not about that at all. His father had a journal full of all these cocktail recipes that he developed over his travels. And so this guy wants to like honor his father and, you know, do something while he's settling in this town. He buys a place and he sets up this like cocktail bar, den thing. And he hires the elf and they make these beautiful cocktails together. But it is so beautiful because, yeah, it's about this guy settling into this town and just immersing himself within the town, and it's beautiful. I really loved this, and I loved it so much more than Legends and Lattes. And then number 5, the longest book on this 5 Friday list, coming in at 285 pages, is Falling by T.J. Newman. One of my favourite books. This is about a plane that's kind of crashing. So the pilot of this plane is being blackmailed, and his family were taken hostage, and if he doesn't crash this plane, his family will die. And it's very much about the like flight attendants and the pilots and the people on this plane trying to save everyone. What I really loved about some of these like flight attendants is that they know what's going on, or at least one of them knows what's going on. And, you know, they're trying to like help the pilot while also having to keep this entire plane full of passengers comfortable and completely unaware of the danger that they are in. And that was such an interesting thing to read about. It was just this person just trying to do their job, but they are doing the extreme, like the emergency things of their job while trying to make it seem like they're just doing their normal everyday job. That was really fascinating. I was completely hooked. I could not put this down because I just wanted to know if they were going to crash the plane. Like, what was going to happen to this flight? It was fantastic, and it was just so thrilling. It was very much a thriller in my eyes because I was so entertained. And TJ Newman actually used to be a flight attendant, so like they know what goes on in this situation, which made it all the more interesting to me because, like, you know, you got the inside scoop on this career that, you know, you don't have. Very, very interesting. And I want more people to read this because it's so entertaining and like, it's like all those good plain movies. Not the bad ones, the good ones. It's a great time. I highly recommend. You won't be able to put this down. And it's a quick read. You'll definitely get through it by the end of the year. So that was all. That was 5 books that are under 300 pages that you could very easily get through by the end of the year. I hope you read some of these because they're great. If you know of any other really good under 300 page books, let me know. I'm always down for some short fiction. But that's all I got for now. There will be some more like this to help you get through the end of the year, so keep an eye out for future videos. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!